Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, leader of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim Zakzaky, ends rumor of his death as he makes first public appearance in about 2 years. Thanks Nigerians for their prayers. One person killed in communal clash in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, as controversy rages over the claim of alleged campaign of killer herdsmen in Tunga, Nasarawa State. Despite claims of petrol availability in the country, Nigerians continue to grapple with the scarcity of the product in parts of the country. And Iran vows to retaliate fresh U.S. sanctions on the head of its judiciary.
On business news tonight, Central Bank of Nigeria continues its intervention at the interbank forex market with fresh $262 million.
On sports news, Nigeria's Falconets secure a precious 2-0 away victory over South Africa in the first leg final round qualifier for the FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup.
We begin tonight with the first public appearance by the leader of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, Ibrahim Zakzaky, since 2015, when he has been in detention, and he says that he is alive and well. The cleric's appearance and comments will perhaps lay to rest the stories of the death of the cleric, which has almost sparked civil unrest in some parts of Kaduna State a few days ago. The outspoken Shia Muslim cleric has been in detention following a raid on his residence in Zaria by the Nigerian army. In 2016, a federal high court ordered his release, but the Department of State Security defied the order, sparking of protests in his state, Kaduna, and the nation's capital, Abuja. Our correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, reports.
This is a protest organized by members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria against the detention of their leader, Ibrahim Zakzaky, who was arrested in December 2015. The cleric has remained in the custody of the Department of State Security despite several court rulings for his release. His members have organized several protests demanding his release. A few days ago, rumors of the cleric's death materialized, leading to concerns of possible breakdown of law and order. Despite denials from the security officials, it was obvious only the man himself could dispel the rumors.
It was severe on me on Monday, but subsequently it started subsiding. And for the first time, at least, the security have allowed me to see my own doctors. So it were my own doctors who examined me. Before, I used to be examined by security doctors. This time I did not agree, but my own doctors came to examine me. But I'm getting better. Okay. Thanks to all your prayers.
It's good to hear.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir. After that, the cleric and his wife are seen being driven from the facility of the Department of State Security to an undisclosed location. According to one of the officials, the false news of the cleric's death is the work of mischief makers.
Those who wanted to capitalize on the said rumor to ferment trouble in Nigeria have seen that the man is alive, he's on his feet, he's hale and hearty, he's up and doing. And you saw him with his wife. And the fact was that some people wanted to take advantage of some developments in some parts of the country to further make trouble and mobilize the people to engage in untoward activities which can impact very negatively on the security, stability, and order of the nation.
The security official says the agency will continue to ensure that the country is stable and will do its best to guard against any breakdown of law and order. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
One person has been killed at the popular Wadata market in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, following a communal clash between youth groups in the area. The fighting allegedly broke out as early as 10 a.m. on Saturday, January the 13th, over allegations of previous attacks, followed by reprisals, creating panic amongst the residents there. The Benue State Governor Samuel Otom confirmed the death after presiding over an emergency security council meeting in the government house. He has appealed to the residents to maintain calm.
The information I have confirmed from my security agencies that one person was killed, and it was during the process of the burial that some youths took advantage and went on rampage and started destroying people's properties and cars and all that until we came and brought the situation under control. I've heard about 10 people who were wounded in the process of this uprising. They're in the hospital. We have decided to ban the operation of Okada riders from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Until normalcy returns.
In the meantime, Governor Otom is insisting that the solution to the killings in the state is the arrest of the suspected attackers, whom he alleges are residing in Tonga, chiefdom in Away local government area of Nasarawa State. Our correspondent, Amy Johnson-Mekwa, visited that community to verify the suspicion of the governor. She reports from Tonga in Away local government area of Nasarawa State.
This is the border area between Benue and Nasarawa State. In fact, Taraba is also bordered here because to my extreme right is Wukari local government area in Taraba State. You have to go across the river, then one can get to Wukari local government area in Taraba State. And then to my left, just across the river, is Logo in Benue State, Logo local government area. And then when you move away from the river, and you can go on land to Guma local government area in Benue State. And you don't even need to go across the river at all. You can just walk down straight that road to Guma local government area in Benue State. Here lies one of the reasons for the suspicion of the governor of Benue State that the attackers of Guma local government area in Benue State are camped here in Tunga, Away local government area of Nasarawa State.
There is no such sort of thing in Tunga. I'm telling you, this is just rumors from His Excellency. We respect him. All this problem is as a result of the law he enacted. Governor Otom is, however, insistent on his stance of implementing the anti-open grazing law.
Even when we had not enacted this law, there were crises all over the place. More people were being killed. More destruction was going on. From 2012 to 2016, there was no law. So there was lawlessness. People were doing things anyhow.
The suspected group, the Miyetti Allah, has since distanced itself from the killings, although they strongly disagree with the implementation of the anti-open grazing law.
We have places that normally go on ranching, but they do that ranching with different breeds of animal, not our local breed here. They do it for milk production, for meat purposes. You get me? So, but here, our local breed of animal, if you station them in one particular place, you get me, mostly, in fact, it's not going to be possible.
The
federal government has since intervened in the matter, and the Inspector General of Police has relocated to Benue State on the orders of the President. The latest suggestion from the federal government is the adoption of cattle colonies, which would have up to 40 ranches sharing a facility that would be provided by the government. However, some state governments have already rejected the idea, creating the need for more agreeable solution to the farmers and cattle rearers clash in the country. Ini John Mekwa reporting for Channels Television News.
And the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has visited Tunga, Guma and Logo villages in Benue State over concerns raised by Governor Samuel Orcham that militiamen attacking thief farmers are camped in boundary towns between Nasarawa and Benue State, particularly Tunga village in Awe local government area of Nasarawa State. The police chief told Channels Television in Lafia, the Nasarawa State's capital, that the visit has enabled him get first-hand information about the allegations so as to address the issues headlong. According to him, additional police units have been deployed to Nasarawa and Benue states to increase surveillance at the border communities and to help restore calm there. Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State seems to have an answer to the perennial farmers-herdsmen clashes over grazing. He believes that current grazing methods are outdated, hence the need to apply another method. And he's advocating the need for a very responsive agricultural ministry that must holistically carry all stakeholders along. Governor Ahmed is of the opinion that the interests of the herdsmen have not truly been looked into in terms of the services they render to the Nigerian economy. He was speaking during an interactive session with journalists in Ilori in the Kwara State capital.
The current situation we have in the country is saddening, and I think it requires that a holistic approach must be given to this, knowing the fact that the cattle rearing business is a core part of the national economy, which must be given its proper place to truly enable it to contribute a better and higher quota, as it were. But the current way by which cattle rearing is done requires to be reviewed and seen in the context of today's reality, because the size of land available is different from what it used to be available. So because if you look at the whole issue of differences between the herdsmen and farmers, it's about land use. It's about being able to appropriately use land to create wealth. So there are better ways by which this can be done, through dialogue, through looking at working models in different environments and bringing that, domesticating them, and improve advocacy on areas of peaceful coexistence.
The Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed. Meanwhile, the federal government is appealing to public commentators and the media to exercise restraint in their coverage of the fallout of the recent farmers-herdsmen clashes in Benue State in order not to further inflame passion and worsen the situation. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says that while the federal government is working hard to address the situation with a view to preventing a recurrence, the media and public commentators would not engage in actions that can aggravate the crisis. A statement says, quote, the current position and the current poised atmosphere of incendiary comments are troublesome for the people and must be held back, as well as finger-pointing can only exacerbate the situation and complicate ongoing efforts to end the crisis. End of quote. The minister explains that the federal government has mapped out short and long-term solutions to the incessant clashes between farmers and herdsmen, including a planned conference for stakeholders. And in part two, after the break, more on the crisis situation in Benue and neighboring states. We'll be turning our attention to the impact on the nation's food security. We'll be speaking to Mr. African Farmer. He joins us in just a moment. Stay with us.